evening, my cherished settlers. Today, we embark on an exciting journey to expand our thriving settlement. As our community flourishes, it's time to grow our residential population by enhancing our existing neighborhoods and introducing new ones. Imagine bustling streets filled with families, children playing, and neighbors coming together to create a vibrant atmosphere. We'll be upgrading the existing homes, ensuring they are not only comfortable, but also inviting for new residents. And with the addition of fresh neighborhoods, we'll open our doors to new faces, ideas, and opportunities. Together, we'll cultivate a sense of community that will strengthen our bonds and propel our settlement to new heights. Heyo and welcome to another episode of Build&Battle Season 3, where we will build a beautiful medieval city while battling off famine, mutiny, and the bitter cold. In the last episode, we fine-tuned our economy by adjusting our taxes, increasing our quantity of taxpayers, and establishing our first trade lines. So if you happen to miss the last episode, then click on the info card above, or if you're looking for a new Manor Lords series to binge watch, then check out the entire Build&Battle Season 3 playlist located in the description below. In today's episode, I want to continue building a beautiful settlement in relaxing increments, focusing on our 3 current neighborhoods, the farmlands, the industrial quarter, the settlement center, and finally introducing a new neighborhood focused around apple production. Today's build is also going to be focused on creating beautifully laid out burgage plots to help increase not just our population cap, but also create a nice skyline along the rooftops. So if you're excited to see how we fuse the apple orchards together to create a beautiful residential neighborhood, then stick around to the end of the video to see how we pull it off. Now you may have noticed we have a very large debt to the king. This is because I wanted to let the game catch up to us since we have constructed some massive builds and have not really let the simulation catch up with us. Because of this, the debt did increase. However, it's beginning to decrease by about 200 gold per year, so slowly, but it is decreasing. Part of the reason it is decreasing is because we have leveled up a lot of our existing burgage plots, so we have begun to generate more regional wealth. Having a larger population is also why you see a higher yearly tax to the king, though. You can also see that we have a very low approval rating. That is also just because we had a drought last year. So we had a few hungry settlers, only one died to hunger, but alas, we are harvesting a better season of crops this year, so everything should adjust itself. Now before we begin, I am wicked excited to announce that our channel did hit its first milestone and now has channel memberships, merchandise, and highlighted comments available for those who want to help the channel become financially self-sustainable. So if you're looking for a new mug to drink your favorite caffeinated beverage of choice from, or a new hoodie to snuggle up and binge watch a season of Build&Battle in, then check out the link to the merchandise store located in the description below. Or feel free to subscribe to channel memberships, where we have 3 different tiers providing you special emojis, shoutouts in the end credits, or early access to episodes of Manor Lords. Feel free also just to leave a thanks below with a highlighted comment telling me your favorite memory and the channel thus far. And finally, to all those who have purchased highlighted comments, merchandise, or memberships, thank you so much. Thank you for the encouragement, and thank you for supporting the channel, and thank you for playing video games with us. Alrighty, I'm wicked excited to start today's build, so kick back, grab your caffeinated beverage of choice, and let's jump right on into it. Today we're going to start aesthetically building more burgage plots down in our farmlands, and there are a few goals I have in this neighborhood. One, obviously try and keep the build aesthetic by scattering a handful of burgage plots throughout the established fields, and 2, increasing our egg supply by adding in a chicken coop backyard, because eventually once the game has run long enough and has caught up to our population cap that we are increasing and have recently increased a lot, we will need more food production for our population. So yeah, might as well start now with a little bit more eggs. So let's start by adding in some of those scattered burgage plots throughout the farm fields, and I'm aiming for a relaxing episode today, so let's really think about how the burgage plots are placed and whether or not an apple orchard or 2 may look pleasing amongst the fields. So what I chose to do in this area to create a beautiful design is clump a few of the burgage plots around our intersections in our road layout. The aim here was to allow the burgage plots to provide a bit of height difference amongst the fields. I then added a few small and a few larger burgage plots for a variation in the buildings themselves. And on the large burgage plots, I chose to add the vegetables to maintain a relatively low height in the area, kind of generally. And finally, I do want to come in and reassign the forester's hut to this area right around the burgage plots that border our territory to kind of thicken it up and create a barrier of forest between where we have built and where would technically be, the wilderness. Now, I also wouldn't mind increasing our vegetable production even more. So up in this back area here, let's lay out a few more burgage plots using the corpse pit method so we can increase our vegetable plots and even add a couple more eggs. Oh, jeez. Okay, we're gonna go through another drought. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Anyway, let's talk about kind of what we did here. This area was a little trickier for me. I wanted to start by having the back vegetable plots run along the territory's border, and that part worked out fairly well. I then wanted to wrap the burgage plots around this single road here, the one that leads back into the main roadways and towards the livestock trading post. This worked okay, in my opinion. I might add one more corpse pit method to round it out and have the forester's hut plant some trees to thicken the area up and give it a little bit more of a rural vibe. But for now, I'm a little undecided, so let me know your thoughts down in the comments. We could add another vegetable plot kind of right here and maybe another one right here. those are kind of where I'm thinking. Next, let's work on our industrial area a bit here, and I honestly kind of consider the goat and pig extension area industrial for some reason. Really don't know why, but maybe because eventually I see these little critters getting turned into some delicious sausages. But anywho, I have plans for a denser area here, so I would like to continue expanding in this neighborhood using the corpse pit method just as we did with the apple orchards, and kind of just repeating and expanding the area. Now, for this area, there will be burgage plots with some smaller backyards again, so I will be filling those in with pigs or goats. Okay, let's explain the thought process behind this one a little bit. For starters, I only wanted to expand in this back area here, tapering into the farmlands and buffering the industrial area and the farmlands by these little pockets of forest. From there, it was squeezing the burgage plots in so that the fronts of the homes faced different directions. So there was a little bit of variation, and then trying to also space them out through the awkward spaces in such a way that the buildings were askew and spaced out. I also did choose to delete the one right here because when it finally built in, the orchard wouldn't actually spawn. So I couldn't actually build the orchard here. So we have another one kind of going off in the corner here. It's just going to be a general burgage plot, not an orchard. But I think it'll add that variety I was looking for. We'll probably actually come in here and add some additional logistics storage spots here. Some granaries and storage buildings in general. I also did let the game run off camera for about 2 years, simply because that approval rating was kicking our butt, and the last 2 droughts, well, they kicked our butt. So I had to let the game run to actually catch it back up to where we were so that we could continue building. All right, now let's work on expanding our settlement center area and providing more space for artisans to immigrate into our settlement. I think I'd like to start with a smaller block of housing along this little strip right here, and potentially draw some more houses along the outer roads we currently have. So let's jump on in and let's do that. overboard. Hopefully that won't bite us in the butts too viciously. Honestly though, I only slightly regret going overboard because I really like how the burgage plots followed the hill's contour lines. I think as we begin to develop our community down the cliffside, the slopes will add a really nice touch and dimension to this settlement. I also made sure to change the orientations of the homes where I could. So for example, these ones are all sort of vertical oriented, and these ones are horizontal. Next, let's add in some of our extensions, and I think I want to add another bakery, cobbler, and tailor to this area here. As I mentioned earlier, I wouldn't mind increasing our food production more, especially now that we seem to be growing faster now that we aren't suffering from the effects of the droughts. So let's start a new neighborhood that focuses just on apple orchards. It'll be another farming area in a sense, since a orchard and farm are similar in the respect that they both grow a food crop, and I want to lay this out using the corpse pit method. So, obviously we can maximize that orchard space. If there are any spaces we have small backyard extensions in, we will equip these with chicken coops to increase our egg production. So I did choose to add a little variation and allow the largest backyards to become orchards, the medium backyards to become vegetables, and the smaller backyards to become chicken coops. I will probably expand this area more in later episodes, so be sure to stay tuned. And if you like how the design came out, give the video a thumbs up below. Since this is a new neighborhood, let's add in a well so that the residents have closer access to water, and let's also give this neighborhood a little marketplace. This will take a long time to fill in, as we already have a hefty sized marketplace up on the cliffside, and I did did add one off camera near our industrial area, so for now we will preserve the space and have the area ready for when the other 2 spots are at max capacity. Alrighty, I think that just about wraps up today's episode. If you enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like and a comment below and be sure to tune in next week. In addition, if you enjoy watching beautiful cities be built, then why not check out our Build and Beautify Season 1, our City Skylines 2 Let's Play series located in the info card above. Until next time, I hope everyone has a phenomenal week.